This is it. We are days away from the release of Hogwarts Legacy, and they have just put out their official launch trailer, which will likely be the last trailer we receive until the game's launch. On top of this, they also released the official times that the game becomes playable across the globe, and let's just say some people aren't too happy. Let's jump straight into the 2.5-minute trailer, which focuses more on the story of the game and how ancient magic will tie into it all. We start off entering the Great Hall as we hear Matilda Weasley comment on the unique situation in regards to how we will be joining Hogwarts as a 5th year student. We then flash to a book which appears to be our character's field guide. This has been given to us by the Ministry of Magic and Miss Weasley herself to ensure that we can get up to speed with our peers. Now this will act as our pause menu in game where we can upgrade our character as well as view different quests and collectibles that we will be able to obtain during our journey. We see the pages fly out of the book with little symbols of dragons, hippogriffs, as well as a tree which resembles the Whomping Willow. We know that in-game we will be tasked with chasing down various field guide pages which will provide us with lore and information about different parts of the wizarding world. This scene could very well explain why we have to chase them down due to all the pages flying out of the book here. We then hear Professor Ronen say that teachers will be giving us
instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum.
So it appears that the teachers have some knowledge as to our circumstance regarding the fact that we possess a mysterious ancient magic. We also get to see Transfiguration for the first time, which is taught by Professor Weasley, as well as what we can assume is Care for Magical Creatures or Beast class. This class takes place outside and we get a look at a unicorn here, which at first glance I thought was a Patronus, but looking back I don't think it is. We also get to see a Diricol, which we first saw in the Fantastic Beast films. These small birds have the ability to teleport or rather apparate at their own will. We get to see some more clips of different classes take place, as well as Defense Against the Dark Arts, where Professor Dinah Hecat elevates Leander Pruitt using Levioso. Another very prominent feature in this trailer is Victor Rookwood, the dark wizard who is taken up with the goblin Ranrock, and we see him barge into the 3 broomsticks and seek out our character. This won't be the last time we see him in this trailer, however. Like I said earlier, ancient magic will play an important role in the game, and our character confirms that
I have a rare ability to see whispers of ancient magic.
In this scene here, we're at Ollivander's wand shop, and no, not the one in Diagon Alley, but rather the one in Hogsmeade. We know that there will be plenty of shops we can visit, and the famous wand shop is just one of them. We also see the Pensieve, which is a magical item that we can use to revisit old memories in a way that makes them seem relivable. This was used several times in the films, and here this massive statue of potentially Merlin drops a tear into said Pensieve, and no doubt this will be one of the methods that we use to solve the mystery behind our ancient power. We also see these statues of knights drop down from the ceiling, most likely protecting some treasure or secret, and this immediately took me back to the Deathly Hallows Part 2, where we saw similar magic used to protect the castle. We also get a glimpse into the troll that we have seen in a previous reveal trailer, but it appears that it has received a makeover. They've touched up its armor as well as its eyes, and honestly, it looks way more menacing with these changes, which is good to see. Our character, however, utterly destroys the troll using one of the ancient magic finishes that we've seen prior in some gameplay clips. We essentially turn the 12-foot creature to dust. Next up, we see this mammoth of a statue that we attempt to flee from. Something to point out here is that there are goblins including Ranrock seen in this segment, and the goblins here are also attacking this titan statue, which is super interesting to see. So this could very much be like the knights earlier, where this big guy could be protecting something that Ranrock or maybe even our character is after. We see the dragon pit that was shown in recent creator gameplays, and then we flash back to Hogsmeade, where Victor Rookwood has once again confronted us. This looks to occur right after the scene where we receive our wand from Ollivander's, as we can visibly see the shop here as well as the wand box in our hand. It's crazy to think that we probably haven't even took a step inside the castle, as we are still getting our wand, and despite this, there is already a dark wizard who essentially has us isolated here. It's just going to be super interesting to see how this all plays out. We then see Highwing the Hippogriff save Natsai Onai, as well as our character flying through the Forbidden Forest, very low to the floor. In one of the gameplay showcases, the devs highlighted that Broomflight will have its own system, where you can only fly at max speed when you're this low to the ground, and the higher you go, there is a bar that slowly drains, essentially forcing you to return lower to the ground if you want to pick up more speed. The trailer ends with a toast of chalices by Matilda Weasley and Headmaster Black to all the students in the Great Hall, and then we see our character stand up and do the same. Maybe we are toasting a great victory or celebrating the House Cup perhaps, but overall I thought the trailer was great. Honestly, for most of the promotional material they have released, I don't think they have missed a single one. But of course, it's supposed to be like that, as they're trying to sell the game to us, which of course is working, as Hogwarts Legacy is still the best-selling game on nearly every platform, and it's only days away until we can play. And in saying that, Hogwarts Legacy has also posted the release times for all versions both on consoles and PC, and this news has got a mixed reception, as the players on consoles will be receiving a midnight launch in each country's local time, whereas PC users get a global launch. So to break it down, for console being PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, each country will be able to play Hogwarts Legacy at midnight local time on the 7th of Feb if they have early access, which is available through pre-ordering the deluxe edition. And then the standard edition launch will be at midnight local time on the 10th of Feb. Los Angeles, however, is the only exception for the midnight launch, as it will be releasing at 9 PM Pacific time, which essentially translates to midnight EST, which is where New York City is. So this is just so that the US can have one nationwide release time. Now this next part is where some people are getting upset, because on PC the game is launching globally at 10 AM Pacific Standard Time on both the 7th for early access and the 10th for the standard edition release. Pair this with the fact that there is no pre-download available for PC, meaning that they will still have to download the 85 gig game upon release, whereas both Xbox and PS5 get to preload the game days before. So to put this in perspective, in Australia, console players will get the game at midnight on Tuesday the 7th for early access. However, PC users in Australia won't be able to play or even download the game until 4 AM on Wednesday the 8th, which is 28 hours after console players. Now this time difference will obviously vary depending on where you are in the world, but considering people are buying the deluxe edition for 72 hours early access, and there's people in the same country who essentially get the game 28 hours before you, I can see how some people are getting upset. Personally, I think it's just something that's out of our control, and we just have to accept it and focus on the positive, being that we will have the game either way in less than a week. Also, if you guys want to check out all the different magical creatures and beasts in Hogwarts Legacy, you should totally click on this video here, because that would be like a really cool thing to do. See you in the next vid.